In this video, we're going to talk to you about the differences in the Janome 2030DC, 3160DC, and 4120DC. These three machines are the newer 3160, 4120, 2030G. The G stands for great. There's a bit of color change on the front of the machine to a great purple color, real attractive color. But the machines have stayed the same all through the years. These series of machines have been in the Janome line for over 15 years. We sell literally thousands of these every year. People keep coming back and recommend their friends. So a lot of them for classroom backup machines and just main quilting machines because they are built very well. On the 2030, it's the beginning model in the DC series. The 2030 is going to give you 30 of the most popular stitches. You can adjust the length and the width on all the sewing patterns. My computer board is really easy for me to operate. I can pull the stitch up and I don't have to push 15 buttons to get to where I'm wanting to go. I do have the ability to override the speed of the machine on the front. Now you can sew with this machine with or without the foot control. I do have start stop here. It will come with an electronic foot control. The machine has the ability for me to easily change my stitch length and width right here in front of me. And I do have the ability to do needle up, needle down. Now there's times I want to have my needle in the fabric and times I want to have it out. If I'm turning a corner, doing an applique, I want the needle to stop in the fabric. But if I want to, I can also raise my presser foot up and it's going to stay up and I can turn a corner and pivot. Or if I'm doing an applique, I can get right up on something if I need to turn a sharp corner. The machine will have the auto lock feature built in. Now this feature ties a stitch off underneath for me, so it's hidden and out of the way. I do have traditional reverse, but you'll probably never use it again because of the auto lock feature. We'll have a little razor on the side of the machine that I can snip my threads, and it does have the built-in needle threader on it. Now these machines will have the top drop-in bobbin system on it. I will have the ability to have the 7-point feed dog system, but I have extra high lift under my presser foot. So when I'm raising that presser foot up, I get thicker fabrics underneath there. If I'm quilting, it really helps, but I have a lot of surface area on my feed dogs touching my material. These will have the standard snap-on, snap-off presser feet. Now, differences will start showing you going up the series. This machine will have a bigger throat plate, but it's a plastic top throat plate. The working components are good quality working components. There's no difference in working components as we move up, but the machines, that'll be one thing you'll notice differently once we go to the 3160. Now, the 3160 is the middle of the line in the DC series. This machine will feature 60 of your most popular stitches built in. I have more applique stitches, more quilting stitches. I have more different styles of the one-step buttonhole. Same premise, the computer board's laid out the same way. I can easily see my length and width settings right here, and I can use these arrows to adjust that. I can use my arrows also to pull my stitch up, and I'm going to know exactly what stitch that I'm on. The machine will recommend the presser foot that I need to have on for the stitch that I'm doing. All the Janome feet have letters indented into them, so I'll know what foot I need to have on the machine at any given time for the project that I'm doing. All of them will have the top winding bobbin and the horizontal spool pin. They also will have a place you can put a vertical spool pin, so if I want to do twin needle sewing, I'm able to do that. If I have a different type of spool that I'm wanting to work with, it's standing up vertically. Channeling all the way to the needle, very easy to thread. It's got the built-in needle threader. Now here's a big difference you'll notice. Besides the stitches and the built-in scissor, I will have the ability to adjust my pressure that's pressing down onto my presser foot. The 2030 has universal pressure. This one I can adjust it. Now when I get to the front of the computer board, I have a few more buttons here. I do have the ability to override the speed of the machine, but this is the #1 feature right here is the scissor. It'll snip my bobbin and top thread for me at any given time I beck and call. I do have the needle up, needle down, and I also have the same auto lock feature. I've got reverse, and I do have the start stop button here. Extra high lift under the presser foot. I do have the same little razor here, but my needle plate is going to be metal on this particular machine. All of them have the accessory tray that we can remove for doing our free arm sewing. They will have the drop feed for doing free motion work. Another thing you're going to notice going to the 3160, the amount of accessories goes up dramatically. The first thing I'm going to get the extension table. Now, this table is made to fit right around the sewing arm on this machine perfectly, so I'm not wrestling at my needle with the fabric. Really a nice item. It's made out of the same material the outer housing is made out of. So it has a slick finish to it, so my fabric's not going to hang. Also, I'm going to get the quilting kit. Now the quilting kit will give me the walking foot, the free motion foot, the seam guide. There's a place on my needle plate that I can screw down this seam guide and measure off from my needle. For a seam allowance, you're going to get the quilt bar, the 1/4 inch foot, and the open toe foot, plus all the other standard accessories. And we will have all those listed on the website. And then plus you're going to get the hard cover. These covers are made for this particular model to fit right over top. The handle comes through the top of it so I can carry it to class. But when you're not using your machine, put the cover on it. That really keeps dust off the machine, and the dust is the #1 thing that robs our oil supply. Now going to the 4120, which is the top of the line in the DC series, you're going to get just a little bit more going to the 4120. 4120 is going to give me 120 stitches. You have twin needle stitches built in. I got an alphabet font that's built in on this particular machine. You do have the same scissor. I got the needle up, needle down. I have the auto lock. I've got reverse and the start stop button, top winding bobbin, vertical spool pin, horizontal spool pin. My threading is the same, channeling all the way to my needle. I do have a needle threader built in. I do have the adjustable pressure that's built in on this machine, and the free arm that I can remove for doing pant legs and shirt sleeves, the metal needle plate, the 7-point feed dog system. You're also going to get the hard cover with the 4120. You're going to get the quilting kit that we mentioned earlier, the same quilting kit, and you're also going to get the extension table. Ken Sewing Center is an authorized Janome dealer. We're one of the largest Janome dealers in the United States. We carry every model they make, and we have product knowledge behind every model we sell. We can help you find the right machine for you. The DC series has been one of the most popular series out there. One of these models can fit most people's needs, so do not hesitate to drop us an email or give us a call. We can compare these models and answer the questions you have on it.